Uh, Hello, boys and girls. This lesson today is about a new literary genre, the medieval ballad. As we said during our lesson in class, a literary ballad belongs to folk popular tradition, is a short narrative song, so it was intended for being sung and danced during parties or festivals by common people or folks. It was preserved and transmitted orally because ballads were rarely written down during the Middle Ages, but they were collected and written down during the following centuries, especially at the end of the 18th and at the beginning of the 19th century, when popular literature became appreciated. So they narrate stories and the narrator is often impersonal. So it means that the narrator or singer doesn't interfere in the story by adding personal comments. And the personal pronoun I rarely refers to a character or the narrator himself. It often refers to the community. So the ballad is composed of short stanzas of 2 or 4 lines and contains repetition of words or lines, like in the ballad Lord Randall. Oh, where have you been, Lord Randall, my son? And where have you been, my handsome young man? I have been at Greenwood, mother, make my bed soon, for I'm wearied with hunting and fain would lie down. What are the basic structural units of poetry? The structural units of poetry are the line, il verso, the basic unit, which usually consists of 8 to 12 syllables in length. Then we have the stanza, a section of a poem which consists of several lines, normally 2 to 4 several lines, or they could be even 12 lines, but in ballads we generally have 2 or 4 lines. Several poems could be collected in a book or canto. Then we have the sound devices. A common sound device in English is the repetition. We have a repetition when phrases or lines or words may be repeated in the course of a poem to create a musical effect. Like in Lord Randall, we have the repetition of the first part of the same line. Oh, where have you been? And where have you been? With very little difference in the pattern. So we can say that music is very important in English poetry because more than on rhyme, like Italian poetry, English poetry is based on sound devices. The first sound device that we have seen is the repetition. Let's go back to the medieval ballad. Let's concentrate on narrative features. In ballads, we have said that a story is often narrated either in the third person by using a third person narrator, but also dialogue is often used, as we can see in the ballad Cruel Sister. Oh, sister, sister, let me live, and all that's mine I'll surely give. It's your own true love that I'll have, and more, but thou shalt never come ashore. As we can see, this dialogue is between two sisters. The first sister is about to die because the second sister is killing her by making her drown in the sea. Okay, as we can see from the words, "Thou shalt never come ashore." You will never come to the shore. The shore is the shore of the point where the sea touches the earth, la riva del mare. Okay, so the first sister asks the second sister, "Let me live, lasciami vivere, and all that's mine I'll surely give, e ti darò tutto ciò che è mio." But the second sister says, "It's your own true love that I'll have and more. Mi prenderò tutto ciò che è tuo e anche il tuo vero amore, ma tu non tornerai mai sulla riva del mare." So, the story that the ballad narrates is surely a story of family tragedy, which is one of the most common ballad types. Okay, there are several ballad types. For example, there are ballads of war that narrates the enmity between two peoples or two tribes. There are ballads of outlaws, as for example the cycle of Robin Hood, and there are ballads that narrates tragedies within families when a family member kills another member of the same family. Another sound device is the rhyme. Okay, poems are said to rhyme when the last word or two or more lines has the same ending sound. Okay, so they could be written in different ways, but they have the same sound. Or sister, sister, let me live, and all that's mine I'll surely give. As you can see, live and give have the same sound. Conventionally, rhyme has often been used to mark the ending of the line, okay, which also makes the poem easier to memorize. But there could be another type of rhyme within the line, and this is called internal rhyme, as you can see in the line from the ballad "Campo Wine." Her breath was strang, her hair was lang. Okay, strang and lang are two words in the same line, strang in the middle, lang at the end, but they rhyme. And this is an example of internal rhyme. Rhymes are identified by the letters of the alphabet, and when they have the same sound, they have the same letter. So in these two following lines, the rhyming scheme is A, A. The content of ballads. The ballads usually focus on a single crucial episode or situation. There were three gypsies to a oral door, and oh, but they sang bonny oh. They sang so sweet and to complete that they stole the heart of Our Lady O. So, the single crucial episode that the ballad Gypsy Ladies, remember that ladies means boys, it's a Scottish word. I was saying that the single crucial episode consists of a lady who loses her heart. In Italian we could say perse la testa, after three gypsy boys who could sing very well. sweet, and complete. Probably these three gypsies worked some kind of magic. Usarono una specie di magia to steal the heart of the lady, or to make the lady mad of love for them. Now, alliteration. What's the alliteration? Alliteration is another type of sound device. It consists of the repetition of the same initial consonant sound in consecutive words or words which are close together. Like in the line from Gypsy Ladies, they sang so sweet. Sang so sweet have the same initial consonant sound in three different words which are consecutive and in the same line. Now, let's go back to setting of the ballads. We have said that the ballads narrate a story. They narrate it in either impersonal way or through dialogue, but this story also have a setting in time and place. Let's read these two stanzas from a ballad whose title is Lady Diamond. There was a king, and a noble king, a king of muckle fame, and he had an only daughter dear, Lady Diamond was her name. But where did the king live? Exactly, we don't know. We just know that he had a daughter who was very dear to him. And the name of this daughter was Lady Diamond. He had a servant, a kitchen boy, a lad of muckle scorn, and she loved him long, and she loved him aye, till the grass overgrew the corn. Okay, this last line contains or hints to a setting in time, but we really don't know what time it refers to. It could be summer, because at the end of summer, the grass, when corn is cut down, the grass is taller than the corn plants themselves, but we really don't know. So we can say that there is very little description of the setting, both in place and in time. So, the characters of ballads. As we have seen before in the previous ballads, there are three characters mentioned: a king, a daughter, Lady Diamond, and the servant. But, as we can see, there is very little description of these three characters. But from other ballads, for example, from Lady Isabel and the Elf Knights, we can see that characters are both fantastic creatures, which could belong to the folklore myths, and human beings. In Lady Isabel and the Elf Knights, we have two characters, Lady Isabel, who is described as fair, bella, and an elf knight, a kind of magic creature that was believed to put beautiful women pregnant, mettere incinta, when they were left alone, especially on the first morning of May. First morning of May is usually believed as the beginning of springtime, and springtime is identified as the mating season, la stagione degli accoppiamenti.